Hey everybody, Steve here from Craps for Everyone. How are you? Hey, today we're going to talk about one of the more misunderstood bets in craps, the come bet. You see it nice and big right there. Come to me is bringing you in. The come bet's an interesting one, and I admit I do not use the come bet personally. I don't like it. I don't do it. But a lot of people do, and a lot of people swear by it. So let's talk. Let's explain what it is. So a come bet is basically your own personal come out roll after the point's already been established. So once the point gets established, then we can start doing the come bet. So let's go ahead and let's just do a little quick. Well, let me just explain a little bit more first, I guess. All right. So you put money on the come line. The come bet is no different than a pass line bet. It follows the exact same rules. But the come bet is after a point's already been established. So let's say I roll the 8, I've established a point. The next roll, I can throw money out and I can say $25 come bet. Now, on the next roll that the shooter does, that $25 bet follows the same rules as the pass line on a come out. So in other words, if I have $25 out there and the next roll is a 7 or 11, then it doubles. I get paid $25 more dollars. If, on the other hand, the next roll after I place my come bet is a 2, 3, or 12, those are crap numbers, I lose my money. Okay? So it follows the exact same rules as the pass line. If, on the other hand, I roll a different number, I roll a 5. Okay? I roll a 5. So now the dealer will move the bet to the 5 and he places it inside the square. He's not placing it on the line or anything. He's placing it inside the square. That signifies that it's a come bet. And now I can put odds on it. And the odds follow the exact same rules as the pass line. So on the 5, normally I can do 4 times odds. That's the normal kind of thing is you can do 3 times odds on the 4 and the 10, 4 times odds on the 5 and the 9, 5 times odds on the 6 and the 8. So I could go up to $100 right there. And so let's go ahead and do that. So now the dealer says 25, what would you like for odds? They'll throw out $100. The dealer's going to put it sideways, put it offset. That's representing the odds. You have the flat bet. The $25 is referred to as a flat bet, and the $100 is just the odds. And now they're going to keep rolling and rolling and rolling. Now the 5 hits. Awesome, 5 hits. Well, how this gets paid is the $25 flat bet is exactly the same as if I'd had $25 on the pass line, which means it would pay $25 exact. Okay, 1 for 1. The $100 pays exactly like it does the odds behind the line, which is 1.5 to 1. So it would get paid $150. There's the odds. And then they'll collect it all up and they'll hand it off to you. All right? So that's what come looks like. That's what the come bet looks like. And normally what people will do is they'll have $25 come out there, points 8, roll comes, next roll is a 4. $25 onto the 4. I can do up to 3 times odds there. We're just going to do $25 odds onto the 4. So I got a $25 flat bet with $25 odds, and I throw another quarter onto the come. Roll comes. Oh, it's another 4. Now this is cool. 2 4s in a row. So what happens here is they're going to pay the $25 on the flat bet. They're going to pay the $50 for the 2 to 1 odds on the odds, and they're going to pay that off and say up and off. So because that $25 that we just put right here travels immediately to that 4 and the odds just stay. And maybe they say they want to bring it down, who knows, but that's how that happens. So now we roll again. Oh, it's a 7. Okay, so 7's an interesting one. So first thing that happens is, remember, we lose this. Poof, out the door. Secondly, $25 here on the pass line, 7 and 11 are good. So I'm going to win $25 right there. So I lost 50, I won 25, so I only lost $25. That's one of the reasons people like the comeback, is because that 7 and 11 in the middle of a roll can be positive. Okay? Now here's what I don't like about it. I don't like it for two reasons. Number one, you have to hit a number twice before you get paid. Because the first time I hit a number, let's just do this. So 0.8 again. Oh, we don't want the 7. Oh my gosh, now we're just rolling 7s. Look at that, 3 in a row. 3, 5, 2, 7s in a row. Okay, 3, 1, 4. All right, so my come bet travels to the 4. Okay, that would have been cool, actually. I would have just made $75 on that 7. That would have been neat. So it travels to the 4. I'm not going to win again until I actually roll another 4. Let's go ahead and put a little bit of odds there. So $50 in odds. Now, here's why I don't like this. If I had put the original $25, I had just put it on the 4, that first roll, what would I have been paid? $50. So I immediately have $50 on that first roll. Now I put $25. I got $25 odds here. Well, what if I just upped this to be $50? Okay. Now I roll a 4 again. Here I'm going to get paid $25 for the flat. I'm going to get paid $50 for the odds. So I'm getting $75 total. But the same $50 as a place bet pays me $100. I like doing it this way. And let's look at it. Let's look at it again. What if it wasn't on the 4 and the 10? What if it's on the 6? All right. So I have a $30 place bet. Okay, $30 place bet. And we'll just do $25 no, we'll do $30. We'll do a $30 come bet. All right. So I have a $30 come bet. We'll do it has to be flat. So I've got $30 and $30. So when the 6 gets rolled, my place bet's going to pay me $35. Now, come bet comes up here. I roll the 6 again. I'm going to put my odds on. I'll go ahead and I'll put $30 in odds up on that 6. All right. So, and I'm going to put $30. I'll up my place bet to 60 as well. So I got 60. I got the same bet. $60 on the 6 is going to pay me $70 on the place bet. And here, I'm going to get paid $30 for the flat, and I'm going to get I'm going to get paid $36 for the odds. So in other words, I'm getting paid $66 total, or I'm getting paid $70. Now, the more you up your odds, the better that it actually does start to favor a little bit to the what do you call it? To the come bet. So if I had the $30 there, let's make it easy math. I have $100. I can go 5 times, so I'm going to go to 125. Okay. And here I have 150. Let's take a look and see exactly. I think actually it pays the same. So if I have 150 consumed on a come bet, or I have 150 on a place bet, yeah, it's going to pay the same amount of money, because 150 pays 175. And here, the 25 is going to play flat, and the 125 pays 150. No, it doesn't. 125 behind the line. Yeah, each green pays 30. Yep, it pays 150. So it's the same amount of money. It's going to pay 150 as well. It's going to pay 150 as well. So really, what you have to look at, so at that point, doing the come bet actually is a little bit advantageous, because with the come bet, I had the advantage of the 7 or 11 winning me some money. So if I'm going to do true odds, if I'm going to do full odds, then yeah, come bet is a better way of doing things, because I have the advantage of the 7-11 coming out. But if I'm going to do less than full odds, the place bet's the better thing. Now, the other one that you get into an issue, and I actually had this the other day, I do casino parties for companies. I had a player that was always doing the come bet. Now the problem was everybody else was following some guidance I was given as far as pressing the dice up, and so when it's 150 and he's doing his max odds, which means 25 flat, 125, fine and dandy. But we got beyond 150, so we got to a point where we had $210, $210 on the six. Well, the come bet is limited by what he put on the come originally. So he only had $25 on the come, so he's limited on what his bet can be on the come bet. So when the six hit this time, he gets paid his $175, right? He gets paid $175. But that $210 gets paid $245. And he couldn't understand why he wasn't making as much as the other people. And I'm like, well, because you're not betting as much. You're limited by what the come can do. So you would have to play a heavier come bet in order to make the same amount, to try to keep up. Now, you always have the option of having a come bet and a place bet. Don't think you can't do that. You can have both bets. And that's just, by the way, that's just always there. If I have, let's say I have a $25 pass line bet and the point is 9, what's the max odds I can do behind the line? Well, the max odds I can do behind the line is $100. So I put $100 behind the line, but I want to do more than that. I'm confident I'm going to roll that 9. Well, there's not a problem in the world me throwing out $75 more and telling the dealer, give me a $75 place bet. Now when I hit the 9, they'll pay me my money back there, which will be $150 behind the line plus 25, and then they'll give me 75, they'll give me my 105 more up here on the 9. All right, but we can digress. I got off topic there. We're talking about the come bet. Now, one of the negatives about the come bet, by the way, so let's say that we've gone a few, okay? We've got, we got a come bet on the 6, the 8, the 4. And I say, okay, that's enough. I don't want to do any more than that. I've got $30 there. I've got $50 there. And I got 25 more there. All right. I roll and I hit the 9. I hit the point. Yay, team. Points off. Even though the puck is off, the flat bets, the original come bets, they're always working. You can't turn them off. I can turn off the odds. I can say the odds don't work, odds are off, and those are safe. But the flat bets underneath are always working. So if I rolled right now, let's just see what happens. Puck is off. We roll. It's a 9. So that would be no harm, no foul. We're back on the 9. Everything's working again, just like normally. But what if we rolled a 4? We rolled a 3, 1, 4. All right, well, the odds weren't working. So I would give that back to the shooter, and or the bettor, and I'd pay him his even money for the flat bet. So he'll get even money for the flat, he'll get his odds returned, and he's good to go. But he doesn't have a 4 anymore. He's down to 2 come bets. And he can throw out one of those winnings, and he can now start over again. Now, what would have happened, though, if we had had this scenario where we roll, let's see if we can roll a 7, and we roll a 7. It's a 7 on a come-out roll, okay? 7 on a come-out roll, which normally we'd be going, yay, because 7 on a come-out roll is good. We all win money on the pass line. However, the come bet, when it's here in the come, it's like a pass line. When it's out here, it's a regular bet. So what would happen if the 7 gets rolled, I would return the odds, and these die because they were working, okay? 7 loses. Now, an 11, nothing would happen to him. 2, 3, 12, nothing would happen to him because they're working. They're like a regular old bet. So that's the other thing that I don't like about the come bet is you can't turn them off. You can't turn them off and you can't take them down. Once they're up here until the 7 gets rolled or until you hit the number and it comes down naturally because you get paid. All right? Hopefully that makes sense. It's, you'll see some strategies out there that use the come bet, But I'll be honest, look at when those videos were filmed. A lot of them were filmed years ago when combat was more in style. Right now, just not a lot of people do combats. Anyway, we'll talk more about it another time if somebody so desires. But you got the basics of the combat. Basics are very simple. With a combat, you have to wait until the point's established. Once the point's established, you throw out whatever the table minimum is into the cum. You don't have to tell the dealer or anything, just put it out there. It's a self-service combat. And when the dice get rolled, a 6, this now comes to the 6, gets placed inside the square. You tell the dealer what odds you want on it. I'm going to put $50 in odds. And now it just keeps rolling. Oh, look at that. We hit the 6 right away. So now the dealer would say, great, you're going to win. Let's get your winnings done. You're going to win 25 for the flat, and you're going to win 60 for your odds. Thank you very much. And I'll return it to you. All right. So that's what the combat looks like. Nice and simple. Anyway, that's it, Steve. Craps for everyone. We'll talk to you next time. Bye, y'all.